Ukimuona mtu akikwambia ati tutafute kiongozi mwingine wa mulima na tuko na Rigathi Gachagua, mwambie rudi nyuma. Sababu sisi tuliamuka asubuhi na mapema, tukachagua Rigathi na tukamchagua rais na kura 7 million kura, si ndio? Kwa hivyo huwezi tuambia tusiongee. Hawa ndio wamekula sakramenti, wamekula ya roho, wakule ya siasa sasa. Sababu ni watu wetu hawa. Mimi ningetaka kusema nimetoka mbali huko Kiambu. Na mimi ningetaka kusema Rigathi, you are our uniting factor. Mimi nitasimama na wewe, Kiambu inasimama na wewe. Na umekuwa ukiongea tuungane. Watu wanauliza tuungane aje na tushaungana. Kumbe ulikuwa umeona mbele. Kuna watu wanatumiwa kugawanya mulima. Kuna watu wanatumiwa wanasema ati wanaleta viongozi wengine. Mimi singetaka kuongea kuhusu viongozi hao wengine. Lakini ningetaka kuambia, na rafiki yangu napenda sana na alinisaidia sana, anaitwa Kindiki. Rafiki yangu sana. Demo ile ugiona ngoma agikuhurira ruhiriria wira-ini ya kuhonoka umara-ini yo. Umara-ini yo. Ngoma agikuhurira ruhiriria rathi kuhonoka he uria kubangire. Andu acio maragucokaniriria nio maracokaniririe mwanake witu witagwo Ndindi Nyoroma yao. Maramwambatia iguru, maramwikira ndege, maramuthiururukia bururi, maramubacania thima yao. Mwanake witu ni hindi arokira akehuraga rukungu. We nawe Kindiki, mego kwambararia, magukinye iguru, muico ugoka mucio kiraga andu sorry. Kwa hivyo mimi nimesema niongee hii nikiwa Kirinyaga. Sababu tutazunguka mulima yote tukiambia watu thutha wa gwikana ritwa ria na ria mwana na ria muoyo mutheru twarie cia bururi. Si ndio hiyo? Nikimalizia, Your Excellency, nigusie tu kuhusu Nyahururu Declaration. Nyahururu Declaration, wale walisema sijui wameungana. Ni vizuri niseme the link between the presidency, between the executive and the people is parliament. So when you see parliamentarians who are given an opportunity to serve, wameshikana, wanasema sasa sisi tukitaka kuongea na rais tutaongea na huyu mtu mwingine. Hiyo ni kuonyesha abdication of duty, lack of responsibility, and it is a vote of no confidence to the people that lead them. Na sio wengine. Sikimani Ichung'wah ndiye anakaribia rais.
The mountain is very hot. And if you listen to the speeches of leaders like Kiambu Senator Karungo Dangwa, you will understand one aspect, that while the country is made to believe that Rigathi Gachagua is balkanizing the region, there seems not to be an explanation, a convincing explanation why the country has to change its second in command, Rigathi Gachagua. Ladies and gentlemen, the president was expected in Embu County tomorrow, to be specific in Manyata, to attend a church service, and the president has been forced to cancel that meeting that was supposed to happen, that church service that was supposed to happen tomorrow on Sunday. Statehouse handlers did not anticipate it, because since the deputy president was removed from official communication channel for the president and is not been getting the brief of president's visit, the deputy president has not been on the know and has just been a man on his own. So the State House handlers, once they realized that William Ruto's visit in Embu had leaked out to Rigathi Gachagua's camp, they decided to cancel it. But in a very interesting twist, the Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua has confirmed that unlike his boss, he is going to attend that service. Is the DP going to represent his boss, or has he just been invited as a contingency by the church after they missed the president's spot? Ladies and gentlemen, listen to this NTV story.
President William Ruto is reported to have this evening cancelled his scheduled visit to Embu County tomorrow, where he was expected to be the chief guest at an Anglican Church of Kenya Sunday service that will be held at the Kigari Teachers Training College in Manyata constituency. Ruto has not given any reason for cancelling his much-anticipated attendance of the 34th anniversary of the SEK Embu Diocese at Kigari TTC, with those close to him tight-lipped on the president's last-minute decision. And NTV's political affairs reporter David Mudhoka reports, moments after Ruto changed his mind on attending the church event, his estranged Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua announced that he will be attending the same service from 9 a.m. tomorrow.
It was supposed to be President William Ruto's first visit to the mountain since his deputy Rigathi Gachagua was impeached by the National Assembly, a decision that was met with backlash from a huge number of Mount Kenya residents.
Bless me.
But just hours to his much-anticipated visit to Embu to attend the 34th anniversary of the Anglican Church of Kenya Embu Diocese at the Kigari Teachers Training College in Manyata constituency, President Ruto silently cancelled the visit. The last-minute decision coming as a shock to residents and local leaders who are eagerly waiting to hear from the president on Sunday.
I know the president is visiting on Sunday. Pale Kigari SK tutakuwa hapo ili tumueleze zile maneno tunaweza hitaji itengenezwe huku kwetu, tukimuomba zaidi.
Moments after Ruto's last-minute cancellation, NTV has learned that his deputy Rigathi Gachagua has planned to attend the church service that Ruto was to attend. An invite from the Office of the Deputy President's Communication Service states that the Deputy President will tomorrow, Sunday, October 13th, 2024, attend a church service and the 34th anniversary celebrations of the SEK Embu Diocese at St. Mark's Teachers Training College in Embu County at 9 a.m. Up to now, the president has not given any explanation as to why he chose to skip the Sunday service, with some of his insiders tight-lipped over the matter and others saying that they were not aware if President Ruto was to attend the Sunday service. His decision comes just hours after Nakuru Governor Susan Kihika was heckled by mourners at the burial of Bahati Member of Parliament Irene Njoki's brother Henry Gachagua in Bahati constituency, immediately after she began reading President William Ruto's message of condolence to the family of the Bahati lawmaker.
Condolence message from His Excellency William Ruto, President of the Republic of Kenya.
It also comes just hours after Kinangop Member of Parliament Kwenye Thuku met the wrath of his constituents while at an entertainment joint in Kinangop on Friday night. David Mudhoka, NTV.
From this bold desk, you can see what played out there. I was so keen on this visit, and I think the person that when this information came out, it was actually Tuesday morning, not Tuesday, Friday evening. The word was out that William Ruto was actually going to Embu, and I was actually preparing to do an analysis of William Ruto's visit in Embu. This visit was politically important for two people in this country. The Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua and the UDA supporters in Mount Kenya. It was very important. And this meeting, I paid attention. It was critically important just based on these 4 or 3 factors I want to mention. Number one, the last time the president attended a church service in Nairobi on Sunday, his deputy, of course he spoke, then his deputy spoke later. The last time he attended a church service there, that was after MPs voted. The church service in Nairobi, he was not accompanied by members of parliament. He was only accompanied by the First Lady, Rachel Ruto. So, and of course, one of the things that was really mentioned in that church service is the fact that William Ruto attended the first service and the turnout of members were low, with multiple media reports saying that some members of the church, after they realized that the president was going there, they decided to keep off in protest of that Rigathi Gachagua impeachment. I cannot substantiate that, but that report was all over, and you could see photos of empty chairs in that seat. So, the first reason why that was important is we wanted to see how many the members of parliament from Mount Kenya who supported the DP's impeachment, were they going to tag along the president, and were they going to defend their decision in front of the president? The second reason why this was also important for me here is William Ruto has been keeping his silence for the last 2 weeks. And I've seen political observers saying that being silent, he's showing power. He's also trying to tell the country that Rigathi Gachagua's impeachment is a non-issue to him. And of course, he's also trying to say that he's detached. But while that is possible in Nairobi from Statehouse, I wanted to see whether in Embu, he's also going to keep his silence. And my prediction was that for the first time, the President of the Republic of Kenya was going to issue a statement and react and speak about a position, his personal position, on Rigathi Gachagua's impeachment. Then the third reason why this church service is also critically important is Rigathi Gachagua apology last Sunday. You know, Rigathi Gachagua apologized Rigathi Gachagua apologized to the president. And that apology was after William Ruto had spoken in the church service in AIC, Ilimani. So we always wanted to see, now that the president is going to be in Mount Kenya and is going to be in a church service, is he going to take up that? Is he going to take up, what will be his reaction to that apology? So those are my 4 reasons why I was paying attention to it. But the president has shocked the nation by cancelling that. The other question we want to ask, Rigathi Gachagua is going. Was he supposed to attend with the president, or the organizers of that church? I know church services in Mount Kenya, mostly it's, you know, when the president comes there, there are some fortunes that the church gets, some few thousands and millions that the church can get. So is invitation by the deputy president just a contingency plan because the president has abstained from that meeting? Or is it the president who has sent his deputy to represent him there? I really doubt so. Or did Rigathi Gachagua just plan to attend with the president? Of the 3 questions, my prediction is on number 3. The deputy president had also planned to attend that meeting. He will actually ghost that meeting with some very critical objective. And if you ask me, that is what I was actually seeing. Now, this exclusive information here is Ruto wanted his Embu visit to be to sneak to Embu without the deputy president. It's not a secret. For the last 4 months, just earlier this week, the deputy president said that he has never spoken with his boss for the last 4 months. On Monday, the president called him on that issue of impeachment, and speculatively the president might showed him that he was alone on that impeachment motion, and so the president was not supporting him. That is what Rigathi revealed to the nation. So I'm so keen that the president's handlers wanted Ruto to go to Meru, Embu, without his deputy. He did not want to go with him. Allow me to take a minute and confirm whether this visit was supposed to be Embu or Meru. It was Embu. It was not Meru, it was Embu. Now, Rigathi have said that the last time he spoke to the president was on Monday on this impeachment, and the president told him he's alone. Now, there is a context of what's happening in Mount Kenya, and these are the pointers on the president's decision. Before we look at what forced the president to cancel the Meru tour, I want you to pay attention to this, and to my end, these are the factors behind that reason. Why the president reached out to that reason. These are the context of what's happening there. Mount Kenya MPs who voted to impeach the deputy president in the National Assembly are avoiding public encounter since the ground is very hostile for them. Just recently, UDA MPs were attending a burial ceremony, and a condolence message from the president could not be read because people were actually heckling those leaders who were there.
Gavana wa Nakuru Susan Kihika alikuwa na wakati mgumu leo katika mazishi ya nduguye mbunge wa Bahati Irene Njoki Henry Gachie, akijaribu kusoma ujumbe wa rambirambi kutoka kwa Rais William Ruto, waombolezaji wakikataa kusikiliza ujumbe huo. Wabunge kadhaa waliohudhuria mazishi hayo pia walilazimika kubadili mkondo wakati watu walipoanza kupiga kelele mara tu walipoanza kuelezea sera za serikali.
Excellency William Ruto
alikuwa na hadhira tulivu hadi alipotaja jina la Rais William Ruto.
Commander in Chief.
Gavana wa kaunti ya Nakuru Susan Kihika alikuwa na kibarua kizito Ijumaa kuwatuliza waombolezaji waliofika kumsindikiza nduguye mbunge wa Bahati Irene Njoki Henry Gachie alipotaka kusoma ujumbe wa risala za rambirambi za Rais William Ruto mazishini.
From His Excellency William Ruto, President of the Republic and Commander in Chief.
Kihika akilazimika kuwaomba radhi wakazi ili kumruhusu kusoma ujumbe huo. Na baada ya kusoma ujumbe kwa haraka, Kihika aliwapongeza wakazi kwa kumpa taswira kamili ya hali halisi mashinani.
Todo agathi kuishi mure fireworks. No tukaugaterere. We appreciate you. Todo ni mutuheaga feedback jega niguo.
Hakuwa peke yake.
Serikali ya Rais William Ruto.
Kabla yake mbunge wa Ndia George Masharia pia alikuwa na wakati mgumu zaidi.
Barabara zote hapa Kenya, sana sana zile barabara zimekwama kidogo, tutazitengeneza zote.
Juhudi zake za kueleza miradi ambayo
No. No ino kama dhuri. No kama ohoro. Ino kama dhuri. Ohora undige kwa singoni kwa keniga. Yes. Eko kati ora. Na kuratire. Wenda kunyita, wajita atio. No wajide.
And if you think that is not it, even in Kinangop, there was an MP who was chased for voting yes to impeach the deputy president Rigathi Gachagua. The public lynching of the MPs is there. I know that this is a factor that really has to be put. And even those MPs that probably wanted to tag along the president would have realized that they cannot defend. I've been saying it's not easy, and I analyzed it. It's not easy to defend that impeachment before Wanjiku if you don't have a wider vision to it. Because the MPs, if you ask them, why did you impeach Rigathi? They don't have a reason. And I'm not trivial about it. That is the saddening part of it. quite a number of them don't have a reason. And this is not to mean that Rigathi is clean. And I've been saying this, and I will repeat. First, let's look at these clips, how MPs are finding it rough to speak about after that Rigathi Gachagua impeachment. So, let me debunk something here. And this is a notion that I've seen quite a number of our subscribers are raising. Is Rigathi Gachagua clean? The answer is no. The answer is no. And I don't want to just bring my thoughts. Let me just pick Kufa Makanga, Kufa Dereva to explain it. When the Kenyan people were asked about that impeachment, they said Kufa Makanga, Kufa Dereva. What did they say? They said that Rigathi is not clean. But the person chasing Rigathi is not clean either. So, I know that even if you look at these criminal charges, the truth of the matter here is those 22 companies, at one point or the other, there could be conflict of interest. There could be traces of criminal charges against these companies. But we have to, we have to be disciplined because it is about what the law says. What I am against is the machinations and the misuse and abuse of state machinery and raw use of power. And I say sometimes the state can get away with it. If you have a watertight case against me, then there is no need of intimidating people and acting like you want to show me you have the power. That is where the problem is. And I've been saying, guys, even those who are saying, we need to revenge against the deputy president because of this and this. Today it is Rigathi Gachagua. And if you entertain this kind of the misuse of state machinery, there is no difference between the machinery being used against DP on these flimsy charges. It will be ironical that when police were unleashed on innocent Kenyans who were protesting, we all condemned and we said misuse of state machinery. Now that is the same thing happening with the deputy president Rigathi Gachagua. The only difference here is now this is a different machinery. On protest, the government used the police. But when you want to settle political scores, you use the parliament. So it is in the same breath that we have to remain within the objective lines. Whether you agree with it or not, but because we condemned state machinery, we have to remain within that line. Even if Gladys Wanga or Raila Odinga will be picked as the deputy president, but if these precedents will be set that a simple majoritarian rule can be used to change guards, believe me you, this will still be used against you. Now, the MPs who opposed the area where the president was supposed to go, this is another context. The area where the president was supposed to visit, the area member of parliament, Mukunji, opposed to get impeachment. And he did public participation. So I want to play for you videos of that area MP. One, akifanya public participation. Two, after voting, what he said. And even his language, even after voting. That Mukunji, that Manyata member of parliament, has been remaining in that line. And I've said, I did what the people of Manyata said I should do. So, there was no doubt that William Ruto realized about that Mukunji. Listen to his videos.
Nitapeleka mswada bunge ya kubadilisha sheria ya impeachment. Lazima tubadilishe sheria ya impeachment. Ikue wakati mtu anafaa kuwa impeached, inakuwa kama referendum. Wananchi waongee, sisi ni viongozi hapa. We have changed the impeachment process of even governance Tumeona mateso Kawira Mwangaza amepitia leo. Na ile kitu mmefanya tu ni kukosana na wadosi kidogo. We cannot be making sure wananchi wapate nafasi ya kazi kwa sababu wewe na kiongozi fulani mlikosana. Wacha watu wafanye kazi yao, wananchi wapate mali. Si ni kweli? Na mnajua mimi nasikiza nyinyi alafu nifanye maneno. Wakati ile bili ilikuwa inakuja nikasikiza nyinyi, nikaona maneno haiko mzuri, nikafanya gani nikacheza kama mimi, si ndio? Hii wakati nikakuja hapa nikasikia vile raia wanasema huyu namba 2 asivinywe, si ndio? Mimi pale bunge niliwarepresent vizuri. Si iko sawa? Sasa tunaomba Mungu at least hiyo maneno Senate iangalie vizuri. Sababu tunataka serikali yetu ifocus na maendeleo. Hii sarakasi mingi hatutaki. Si sawa? Sio iko sawa? Wangapi wanasema hatutaki sarakasi, tunataka maendeleo? Na I know the president is visiting on Sunday. Pale Kigali ACK. Tutakuwa hapo ili tumueleze zile maneno tunaweza hitaji itengenezwe huku kwetu, tukimuomba zaidi. Sababu sisi tuliwapea kura. Si tuliwapea kura? Kabisa. Si tuliwapea over Manyata, tulipea president 62,000 votes. Sawa? Hiyo kura ndio tunafaa kukulia saa hii. Ndio next time tuwapange.
So those are some very interesting contexts. The two contexts of MPs were chased. From Embu, you will also realize that constituency, there was a problem. So, why did Ruto cancel that trip? What do you think? Why did Ruto cancel that trip? Give me an answer. Take a minute and give your point. Just put your suggestion in the comment section. Why do you think Ruto cancelled it? Before I break down to what I see, I'm seeing some factors here. Rigathi Gachagua is looking for audience with the president. That is not in doubt. And himself, in his attempts and multiple media interviews, he's revealed there have been attempts to reach the president, but he's been blocked. So one thing that maybe the Statehouse handlers did, the president, William Ruto, realized that already the itinerary, or rather the Embu diary, had been infiltrated by the Rigathi Gachagua camp, and the Rigathi Gachagua had already known about the president's diary to Embu. So what would have happened is that the Rigathi battalion would have get crushed the event, even by Rigathi himself, and confront the president and ask him, what is your say on the Rigathi Gachagua impeachment? This, I will not be shocked to see Jerry Maina, to see Mary Wamaua, to see Edward Miriu, to see Joe Nyutu, to see Mutahi Kahiga. I will not be shocked to see those faces there. And even the deputy president himself. So, number one, there are two things. Rigathi battalion would have gone there even with Rigathi, because now you've realized finally Rigathi is going. What cannot be confirmed is whether he was part of it or he's been called later. And in fact, we're going to pay attention. We're going to see where the president will be tomorrow. Now that will give us a hint on why this meeting was cancelled. Now, if you look at Samson Cherargei, there is something Cherargei is saying. I said something about fairness and about this impeachment. The Cherargei is a very big hint to the president's handlers that Rigathi Gachagua is going to push through and is going to demand answers. So this was purely not based on any other factor, but to avoid a collision path with the deputy president. Yes, and I think I'll support. That will be A good chance for the president. The second reason, and this is it. In fact, if you ask me, this is the big it. Amongst all this, this is my number 2, and it is the reason, the punch. William Ruto have a serious messaging crisis to Mount Kenya voters about Rigathi impeachment. And it is a postponed problem. I know that he's quiet, but at some point, you will have to explain to the country. I know that media, mainstream media, have been trying to call for some roundtable interview with the president, and it has not been successful. The president has been dodging it. I know that from really, from very, very high-end sources, that they are really being pushed by the media stakeholders to engage the president directly. That attempt has also been there by the media stakeholders to have some roundtable with the president to explain to the country. Now, even if you keep quiet, even if the president keeps quiet, but there is a question you will need to tell Wanjiku. There is a question you will need to explain to Boda Boda. And these are 2 questions you need to answer. Number 1, you have to explain to Wanjiku why it was urgent to change your deputy halfway. Now, if the president is waiting for the 10 grounds to be stopped, I know one thing he's doing. He's waiting for the 10 grounds. If Rigathi is impeached, and probably one ground is one that is substantiated, he will go and say, the parliament found my deputy guilty of this and this, and so I had no option, but he had to leave because now that is what the rule of law says. Now that is what corporate politics would actually, that is what the president is waiting. But the political aspect, the political message is needed. You need to explain to Wanjiku that you have left, you have picked Rigathi. You need to, and you pick someone else. You need to explain them. You need to explain to them that now they should entrust that the person that has been picked is someone that is going to bring changes. In fact, the second point of this, if Rigathi is to leave, then Rigathi is going to carry the burden of Kenya Kwanza. He's going to be the blame point. He's going to be blamed for anything that happened in Kenya Kwanza. So you'll have to explain and convince Wanjiku that indeed the shareholding utterances and the conduct that the first 2 years of Kenya Kwanza administration collapsed and was sabotaged by the deputy president. He is not yet ready to do it. And I guess even after the DP is impeached, he will still not be very ready, very available. That answer will not still be very available. Number 3, there's critical intelligence of hostile reception on the side of the president. Remember Nyahururu Declaration. Nyahururu Declaration saw leaders from the counties of Tharaka Nithi, Embu, and Meru issue a statement saying they support the Kithure Kindiki to be Ruto's deputy. But lately things have not been so receptive, and in fact that hostile reception will take 2 shapes. 1, people will abstain. Yes, just like what happened in Nairobi. Number 2, there will be incidents of heckling. I remember the first church service that the president held after finance bill was in Nyahururu. After the finance bill was passed and after the Gen Z protest, it was in Nyahururu. And it was not very friendly. Things did not turn out very well. So the president is realizing that he would have not been received in a good manner. In fact, even by low turnout, would still indicate of that data. Number 3 or number 4, there was a failed clergy attempt to reconcile the leaders. Now, this was on Sunday. Nation reported that Jackson Ole Sapit, Anglican Archbishop, Samson Nyaberi, SDA leader, and Anthony Muheria, Nyeri Archbishop, met the president, and the president tabled his accusations against his deputy. There was a follow-up meeting to be done, but the media did not confirm and could not confirm whether that meeting happened. Could be the president dodged that meeting. Now tomorrow, he was supposed to be in an Anglican church. Now the church is pushing a reconciliation message. Let us reconcile so that the country can move on. And there is one thing I have realized, and I want to be very objective in this. President Ruto is very shrewd in how he manages politics. But if you look at the political journey of William Ruto is not reconciliatory. He's not. He's not. Because let's put it, let's face it. Do you know that after the handshake between Ruto and Raila, between Ruto and Uhuru Kenyatta, between Raila and Uhuru, it was a reconciliatory thing to reconcile, because through Ruto, Uhuru, they had already brought together Kalenjin Kikuyu. So when Raila was coming through, Raila was coming for, of course, he was now bringing the law in the fold. And that was the time to unite this country. But selfishly, Ruto jumped from that ship. And immediately he jumped from that ship, he ran out of government and used Raila as a punching bag to run an emotional onslaught against Uhuru Kenyatta. And to some extent, I felt Uhuru and Raila could still have just supported William Ruto. It would be very possible. But the moment Ruto jumped ship and now decided to run a combative campaign against his boss, Uhuru Kenyatta was left with no option but to embrace the candidature of Raila Odinga, because of William Ruto had betrayed what will be their plan. Now, after the 2022 elections, to date, William Ruto knew very well that Uhuru Kenyatta handed power in peace. Do you know that he has never come in public to acknowledge that transition? Despite of the fact that he spent better part of 2022 telling the country that Uhuru was planning to cling on power. After Uhuru Kenyatta handed power peacefully, do you know that William Ruto has never acknowledged the smooth transition that Uhuru did? Do you know? Ruto is not reconciliatory. Even after attacking that farm and all that, he's not. So, sorry for digressing. Lastly, I think Ruto is avoiding the lobbying for Rigathi's successor. That lobbying is going on, and that would have been a platform. Ladies and gentlemen, that is my take. Thank you. You can also tell me what you think about that trip.